هذا السلاح النووي هو لتوازن الرعب مع إسرائيل والإنهاء المشروع الصهيوني نهائيا وإنهاء أي عدوان إسرائيلي على الأمة العربية كليا.
I bet that's nothing. We shouldn't worry about that. And a Hezbollah MP saying that Iran wants nukes so they can finish off the Zionist entity. I'm sure just like the guy in Egypt who was, on stage with President Mohammed Morsi while he was campaigning saying Jerusalem will be the capital of the caliphate and millions of martyrs will march to Jerusalem. I'm sure we should just ignore that. Let's ask John Robson, Sun News columnist and commentator. John, we keep hearing statements like this from people that are in positions of power, people that know what's going on, and then in the West, our leaders just say, oh, nothing to see here, move along.
Yeah, well, that's what we normally do, right? I mean, what could go wrong with that attitude? Foreign dictators make incredibly menacing threats, clearly working themselves into a position to try and act on those threats. You think this is, there's no way this could go badly. This is like, you wake up in the middle of the night, you smell smoke in your house, you think, meh, back to sleep, right? That's what you do, isn't it?
Well, yeah, generally.
I mean, and it's interesting this would come up. I just was teaching a course on the Cold War, and I finally did something I've always thought would make really great headlines, and I assigned Mein Kampf as one of the textbooks. And as it turns out, the students hated it, which I suppose is better than if they loved it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I ask every year which book shouldn't I reuse, and this one got about 80% of the votes at least. But I wanted them to say to them, you need to know that this man put his program out there. He was quite open about what he wanted, and people didn't pay any attention to it, and later on they felt really stupid about that. And the question is now, we know that the president of Iran has said Israel's going to get wiped off the map. Yeah. We're going to do it. He's also said we're working on nuclear programs, but our nuclear programs are for totally peaceful purposes. The two are unconnected. Nothing to see here, folks. And this weird conspiracy that seems, or it's not a conspiracy, but there's a strange kind of convergence of interest between people in the West who don't want to face the threat and people out there who are opposing the threat and don't want to get noticed. And the result is that they work in a common direction without having that much in common.
I'm going to ask you what I think should be a fairly obvious question, or it should have an obvious answer. When people tell you they're going to do bad things, should you take them at their word? Because my feeling is we don't right now.
Yeah, exactly. And certainly, I mean, in personal life, someone says, I'm going to kill you, then you think to yourself, I believe that a call to the police is in order at this moment. When someone says it internationally, and they're working on nuclear programs, they look more capable of trying to kill you than many people who mumble threats at journalists. Why would you say, oh, phooey? When's the last time someone said they were going to try and kill us and did? Oh, it was, certainly the Soviet Union was after us in a big way, and they may never made any secret about it. The Chinese, people don't want to face what the Chinese government is saying it wants to do and is building up its military for. And then you've got this obsession with Jerusalem and the Jews in the Middle East. Like, all their problems could be solved if they could just have a little genocide of Jews. That would really fix every single problem in every country surrounding Israel. And they talk about this over and over again. You remember Yasser Arafat told Bill Clinton there had not been the Temple of Solomon on the Temple Mount. It's like, you're demented. Clinton invited him to the White House more than any other Western leader. What was he thinking?
Well, right now the Obama administration is inviting members of the Muslim Brotherhood who are lobbying for the blind sheikh to be released into the White House. Those guys are invited. Benjamin Netanyahu's told to cool his heels. But here's what's most bothersome about these latest group of threats that we're told not to worry about, don't take them at their word, is that they are aimed at Israel. And time and again people have said we will do terrible things to the Jews. In society, the world has said, no, nothing's going to happen, or they've turned a blind eye to it. And this is part of why I think this one in particular has to be paid attention to. The Chinese are making menacing noises about attacking America if America attacks China and such. But this is, we don't like these people because they are Jews and we will take them out. And that's happened far too many times for us to ignore.
Yeah, anti-Semitism is one of the key warning signs. You will never find anti-Semitism without finding evil. And it is amazingly rare to find great evil without finding anti-Semitism. When people say death to Jews, they mean it. And it's just crazy that we would once again be saying, oh, meh, phooey, just words. It's not just words. They're threats and they mean them.
All right, John Robson, wise words from you.